is, what is an AI Persona Chatbot, and why is it such a big opportunity right now? In its most simple terms, an AI persona is a type of chatbot that uses a knowledge base of content from a specific person in order to create what looks and feels like an AI version of that person. For example, if I wanted to create an AI persona chatbot for myself, I would take the transcripts from some of my YouTube videos and put that into a knowledge base that a custom chatbot has access to, and then I'd be able to ask it questions and it would respond as if it was myself. Another example could be my Hormozi GPT app, which you can take a look at up here. Essentially, I took 150 of Alex Hormozi podcasts, I put them into a knowledge base, and then I was able to chat to a chatbot that was an AI persona of Alex Hormozi. And I was able to ask business-related questions to this chatbot and get advice on my business and my own strategy. AI persona chatbots like this are such a huge opportunity for us as AI automation agency owners because this represents a revolution in access to information, on par with how the internet made basically all information freely accessible to people. What these chatbots are now doing is making all of that information available at your fingertips, but in a personalized and specific way. What the internet did to make information freely accessible to anyone, anywhere on the planet, these chatbots are now taking that one step further. Not only is this information out there if you look for it, you can now get it all from one chat interface, and you can ask specific questions and have them tailored to your specific needs. The most important thing about all of this is that the information can now be personalized to your problems, to your situation. For example, I was having a conversation with my business partner last night, and he was saying, man, I would love just to have an AI version of Alex Huberman so that I could ask him, instead of having to look up, why am I taking the supplement? How many times a day? At what time of the day am I supposed to take it? Instead of trying to find the information through digging through podcasts or looking through blog posts, he can now just ask a chatbot for it, and it's going to give it tailored based on his question. So not only can he get the specific information in a second, but he can ask about his specific information and the AI can respond in order to diagnose and treat what he's asking for. Another example of these persona chatbots changing the way we access information is, imagine if a CEO had a board of 5 advisors who were experts in different fields. You had an AI persona for accounting, an AI persona for marketing, an AI persona for distribution and logistics. And the point of this is that you can get access to experts in their given fields and you can have unlimited access to them. Or a more relevant example for you watching this video, imagine you're an entrepreneur just starting on your entrepreneurial journey, and you could have the benefit of the smartest people in the world at specific online businesses, and you can ask them on how you should start your own. And when you have all of the issues that pop up in starting the business, you can go to them and get advice back. I know that I for sure could have benefited from having something like this when I was just starting out, instead of getting scammed by these social media coaches and things like that. The point is that with these persona chatbots, you can now have the smartest people in the world on your team ready to help you with any query you have. And this is a revolution in the way we access information, not only as the people consuming it, but it's also a revolution in terms of the people distributing this information. The kind of chatbot that I'm just about to teach you how to build is just the beginning of an entirely new form of monetization for people with specific knowledge. This means that people in industries like coaching, consulting, advising, content creation, tutoring, all of these types of industries and professions really, where you have a specific set of information that people want to access, is now going to be revolutionized by a new way of monetizing. With AI persona chatbots, people within these industries now have a way to really infinitely scale the way they distribute their information, but it's still going to be in a personalized manner. So one way that Alex Hormozi could get his information out to more people is through YouTube, through writing books as he does. But at the end of the day, a consultation where you sit down with Alex for an hour and go over your business is going to be infinitely more valuable than reading a book and trying to apply it yourself. So what these persona bots allow you to do is to have that information, but create a personalized experience out of it. And so our job, as always, as AI automation agency owners, is to facilitate the adoption of this technology into these industries. You can pitch anyone who is selling their knowledge currently with, hey, I will give you an entirely new way to monetize your knowledge. With the bot I'm about to show you how to build, you can go to anyone in these coaching, consulting sort of niches and say, I have a new way for you to monetize your knowledge using AI. People who run these kinds of businesses already have email lists, SMS lists, online communities, and what I believe to be the next step in terms of knowledge monetization will be to have chat lists. What these chat lists will be is another form or another channel really for these business owners to communicate with people who are engaging with their content. And when you add in things like running ad campaigns to your chat lists to push products and to push sponsorships, you can kind of see where I'm going with this. Now, enough just talking about it. I hope you've got an idea of what AI persona chatbots are and why the opportunity is so huge here. So first off, what kind of AI persona bot are we building and why? The example bot that we're going to be building today is actually a replica of a $4,800 chatbot that we built for a client at Morningside. The client himself was a marketing consultant with a ton of written and also video content that we took and put into his AI persona. So just to be fully transparent, that was a 50% upfront and 50% on completion. So I'll put screenshots up on screen now for you guys to see that. And unfortunately, because he didn't want to be featured in a video and have all this stuff shared around, it wasn't on a case study rate. So I'm not going to be able to show you the exact setup, but it's going to be essentially the same thing, but using a different knowledge base. And since we can't use my client's knowledge base, we need to find a new one. Planning for this video, I really wanted to pick a knowledge base that I could use myself and really try to extract value out of these AI persona bots to prove to you all that there is value in these things, and you can really see with your own eyes exactly the value that they provide to the end user. After some self-reflection and really thinking about what I needed in my life right now and who I would want to speak to as an expert to really help me in specific areas of my life, I settled on Ali Abdaal for his productivity expertise. You may already be familiar with Ali. He is a very big YouTuber who's doing very well at the moment. I've been watching a lot of his stuff on productivity lately, and I thought, what better way of showing you guys the value of one of these chatbots than to use his information on productivity to, if you guys want. So I've successfully deployed our Ali Abdaal persona bot onto WhatsApp. I now have his number technically, and I'm talking to him on WhatsApp. I also have it on my phone so I can go out and still chat to him. Now comes the real test of me putting this technology and putting this particular persona to the test and trying it in my own life. So over the next day or two, I'm going to be using this sort of religiously in order to improve my own productivity, rebuild my systems, and very soon you're going to see the before and after of that and the results. So I'll catch you guys in a few days. So we are back about 24 hours later. I've spent the past day working closely with Ali and really reshaping my entire productivity system. I'm going to be quickly taking you through the changes that I've made with his help and the kind of experience that I've had while working alongside them. So in order to analyze the value that I've been able to extract from this, we need to look at the before and the after. If I'm honest, the before state of my productivity systems was not really that great. It wasn't that impressive, but it wasn't really up to par for the kind of businesses that I'm running now and the amount of volume that I'm doing in terms of my community, my YouTube, my business as well. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be done. And I honestly don't think it was sufficient for the needs that I have currently. Prior to now, the only productivity systems that I had really was my own personal Notion, which had some note-taking abilities and project management, and also my Google Calendar, which was just linked up to my Calendly. So Google Calendar was not optimized in any way. It was purely just open, free for all, for people to book in and do morning side calls and things like that. And then my personal Notion I was using sporadically and not really getting the most out of it and hadn't built it into a proper protocol for using it and getting the most out of it. Hey everyone, this is me just a couple of days later. I thought I'd show you guys briefly how far you can take these chatbots if you're willing to put in a bit of extra work. I have 2 ad placements here that you'll see just in a second, but I've also got a login sequence as well. So just to give you an idea, here's a login. Please provide your email. They provide the email. Next, your password, which is just a dummy password for now. But we start to come down and have a chat, and then bang, we have our first product placement. Now, Ali is actually releasing a book. So if we go here, you can see his book landing page. So this is how you can start to sell products for the particular creator or coach within the chat. I've actually got another example in the chat here of his courses. So you can also put a second ad placement. So here's ad placement 1. I've just got this set up here. And then I've also got a carousel with all of his courses. But I wanted to give you guys a bit of a look forward into the future if you were to build this out and you could start to sell products for your creators within their chatbot. The first thing that I did with Ali was ask him, okay, what's the first step? If I wanted to completely change my productivity systems and improve them, what's the first step? And he gave me back a list of requirements. Firstly, what are your main goals and priorities? What are the biggest challenges and obstacles you face when it comes to productivity? What tools or apps are you currently using, if any? How do you currently manage your tasks and schedule? And are there any specific areas of productivity that you want to focus on more? So I gave him back answers to all of those. And from there, I got a very actionable and helpful first sort of set of steps to do. So I'll put these up on screen somewhere here. But basically, I've taken all of those and I've gone out and gotten a bit of feedback from them, but put them all in place. The first step in this was actually to plan my calendar ahead of time, to block out my work blocks and have a sort of a visualization of the ideal day and my ideal week so that I know where I should be and when. I'll put a little before and after of that on screen now so you can see the difference. But the key thing here was that I was able to go back and forth with the persona bot and ask it if what I was doing was most suited to what my needs were, right? So it's personalized and that it's not just generic information on a YouTube video that anyone can watch and try to apply. I was able to workshop it with them and say, hey, I have these needs. What do you recommend? When should I squeeze in my admin and things like this? So it was really, really helpful. The next thing that Ali recommended I improve was my email system. So I've switched over to Superhuman, which you may have heard of, which is a email software that aims to really speed up the process of managing your inbox. So I've set up my Superhuman and I'm going to be using that from now on, which I'm really enjoying. Beyond that, I've also used Ali Abdaal's own YouTube content production management system on Notion. So I've got that all set up. You'll see that on screen now. Very happy with that. And my team have just been getting onboarded into using it now. And the final step that I'm still working on right now is actually how I can consume content better. So I've started this off with a recommendation from Ali, which is Castro for podcasts. So I can get all my favorite shows and I can sort of schedule them up and plan how I want to listen to them in a more structured way. And probably my favorite thing that I've set up thanks to all these help, and what I think will be the most useful for me over time, is actually a thing called Rescue Time, which is a complete productivity tracker for my Mac. So I'm going to be getting analytics back essentially on what I've been doing over the day. This is very helpful. Some of you who are entrepreneurs also, or working for yourself, you will know that sometimes you get through the entire day and you don't really have some kind of audit or analytics on what you've been doing, and being able to say, yes, I did 3 hours of solid work on my video planning or things like this. So I've just set that up and I've been able to identify different tasks and how important they are. So this is going to be a very good way for me to have the finger on the pulse of my own productivity and continue to analyze and improve over time. Now, I'm actually really happy with how things have turned out so far with this. I'm actually more excited for the ongoing aspect of it, where I can get all this information technically from his YouTube videos and I could just go click, click, click and edit and put it all in one by one. But it's the ongoing, the feedback, right? So when I get a problem, say, hey, Ali, my scheduling isn't working. I keep running over my time. Do you have any tips on it? That is when it becomes valuable, because that's when it is personalized to me. And instead of just asking a YouTube video and not being able to get those answers and trying to figure it out, I can get it all synthesized into a nice answer perfectly for me. And so with that kind of case study in front of you, I hope that you've now been able to get a better answer and understanding of the original question of this video, which is, why on earth would anyone pay $5,000 for a chatbot? You can see just how much value myself as the end user was able to extract from it. And throughout the process, when I was talking away from that, message kept popping up. Buy 50 more messages for $25. And I kept hitting it. So you can only imagine how much value would then go back to the creator and how much volume they could be doing with their huge follower base like someone like Ali has. This, of course, is just the start of the kind of monetization you can do with this. As I said, it is a V1 prototype, but I hope you can see that if you were to charge them $5,000, that would be because them as a creator or them as a person with specific knowledge could charge $200 a month, $100 a month to their end users. And that would definitely pay back the $5,000 you're charging them. So if you're selling a $100 bill for $20, essentially they are paying you $5,000 to set them up an entirely new and exciting way of accessing their knowledge and monetization stream. And that's going to be feeding back to them and bringing them thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars per month. So that's the math where it comes down to why $5,000 for a chatbot like this would be worthwhile to someone who's looking